CEL, Communications and Entertainment Limited.
Hello, and welcome to one of the most requested films for the Bill Collins Movie Collection. George Cukor's wonderful, witty comedy, The Women, based on the enormously successful play by Claire Booth, which was so popular in the late 1930s. Many critics say, and I agree with them, that the film of The Women is tougher, wittier, and sharper than the original play. It's quite a work, believe me, and you're seeing a beautiful print in pristine condition. It's lovely to look at. Quite a lineup of women and not a man in sight, although men are on their minds. Norma Shearer, MGM's First Lady, plays Mary Haynes, and Virginia Wedler, a most likeable child, plays her daughter. The woman who'd like to have been MGM's First Lady, Joan Crawford, plays Crystal Allen, the man-stealer, with not one hint at any moment in the film that beneath the surface, she's really quite nice. Rosalind Russell as Sylvia Fowler, the gossip. Rosalind Russell, who stayed away from the set 3 days, apparently ill, and didn't return until she was guaranteed star billing with Joan and Norma. My word, what a situation on the set this must have been. Mary Boland, remember her as Mrs. Bennet in Pride and Prejudice, and Paulette Goddard as Miriam. Is this the real Paulette Goddard we see, or is she playing a part? And the fight, it's magnificent. And the way we get into the fight, you'll adore. And notice the lady in the rear of the shot, charming, lovely Joan Fontaine, shortly before she became a star by appearing in Alfred Hitchcock's film Rebecca, produced by David O. Selznick. And on the left of the screen, Phyllis Povar. Watch out for her, and you will never forget the unkind way she's introduced in the opening credits. There are 3 shots I'd like to show you. First, do you recognize the lady behind Rosalind Russell? That is Hedda Hopper, the gossip columnist, virtually playing herself. Secondly, Virginia Gray is one of dozens of interesting women in the cast. You'll love this scene where she comments on Joan Crawford's conversation. So many wonderful scenes, really, in the film. And here are the women themselves. George Cukor said that you had to be a lion tamer with all those ladies. Imagine how he felt at this moment for this publicity shot with Joan one side and Norma the other. Quite a lineup of star talent in a wonderful motion picture. And by the way, I'm sure you'll adore the fashion parade in colour. I'm sure you've enjoyed The Women. What a remarkable film. Not one man in sight. A triumph of artificiality, exaggeration, and what a keen script. We must acknowledge the contributions made by Anita Loos and Jane Murfin, 2 top screenwriters, as well as those uncredited by Donald Ogden Stewart, who wrote the screenplay for Philip Barry's The Philadelphia Story. The Women is a great treasure trove in its wit and in its visuals. Each time you explore it, you'll find more to enjoy, more to love, and more to amuse you. If you'd like to study The Women more closely, I suggest that you might care to write to me, care of your nearest CEL office, and I'll ensure that a study guide on The Women is sent to you as soon as possible. Notes will also be included on Julius Caesar and Pygmalion, which reminds me, take note of these other great movies in the Bill Collins Movie Collection. Anthony Asquith and Leslie Howard's film of Pygmalion, Bernard Shaw's most popular play. He loved the film, and Leslie Howard and Wendy Hiller are the stars, and they're magnificent. Secondly, Broadway Melody of 1938. What a treat for those who love fabulous musicals. MGM musicals in particular. Robert Taylor, Eleanor Powell, George Murphy, Buddy Ebsen, and in the cast, the Red Hot Mama herself, Sophie Tucker, and Judy Garland in her first MGM feature. Julius Caesar, directed by Joseph L. Mankiewicz, produced by John Houseman, with music by Miklos Rocha. And look at the cast: Marlon Brando, James Mason, John Gielgud, Louis Calhern, Edmund O'Brien, Greer Garson, and Deborah Carr, and many other interesting players. I hope you're enjoying the movies in the Bill Collins Movie Collection. And here are some of the great titles from the Bill Collins Movie Collection: the magnificent musical The Great Waltz, the drama I'll Be Seeing You, the fabulous Lassie Come Home from Eric Knight's novel Since You Went Away, a beautiful drama with Claudette Colbert, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof from Tennessee Williams, The Garden of Allah, a beautiful romance, Grand Hotel with Greta Garbo and Joan Crawford, and Mutiny on the Bounty with Charles Lawton and Clark Gable.
CEL, Communications and Entertainment Limited.